So yeah, I was partially introvert, partially extrovert. That is what we can say right now. The good part about introvert is that they're a very thoughtful person. Okay. They before speaking they think like 10 times whether they should speak this or not.
हाय गाइस, I'm ऋषभ एंड आज की वीडियो में हमारे साथ है अनिरुद्ध कुमार। ये मेरे कॉलेज के दोस्त हैं एंड इस वीडियो में रादर देन नॉर्मल प्लेसमेंट टॉक हम बात करेंगे इंपॉर्टेंस ऑफ पब्लिक स्पीकिंग। बिकॉज ये मेरे ऐसे दोस्त हैं जिनको मैं कॉलेज में मिला एंड थ्रू नेटवर्किंग ही वाज एबल टू अचीव सो मच इन लाइफ दैट ही इज लाइक एन आइडल फॉर मी, स्पेशली इन द फील्ड ऑफ नेटवर्किंग। सो रादर देन सेइंग ऑल अबाउट इट माई सेल्फ, लेट मी हियर फ्रॉम अनिरुद्ध itself. Hi Anirudh.
Hey Rishabh,
So
thanks for calling me up.
yeah, so how are you? How's it going?
Uh, I'm fantastic, Rishabh. Yeah, it's going great so far.
Yeah. So can you please tell us about yourself, your college life, your branch, your internships?
Sure. So yeah, about my college life, I was part of NSIT. I took the EC course. Uh, I was in your batch only. Yep. So about my internships during my college time. So there were a lot of internship and a lot of startups I was a part of, and I also initiated my own startup during my college time. So starting with, I had an internship of 1 month in Nolarity in my first year itself in E1 semester. After my first year, I had an internship at Amazon as a data analyst. Then after Amazon, I worked on my own startup by the name Cross Skills, and that went for next 1.5 years. Just before pandemic took the toll, and we had to shut it down. During the pandemic, I had an internship at two places, one in the education sector and one in the health company. And during my final year, I was also doing a part-time job in one of the IT firm based out of Hyderabad. And yeah, that is about my college time. So you can see I was not part of a lot of college activities, primarily because I had some other engagements. But yeah, that is about me so far.
Also, the only person who paid all of his college money by himself.
Uh, yes, that is true. Up to the part that I was able to pay my first year fees from my own savings and my own earnings. So just before joining NSIT, I took a gap year of of a year, and I went to Fiji. That was a time when, while preparing for IIT JEE exam, I came to know my father lost a stable job, so my family didn't have funds for me to pursue engineering. So I had to do something by myself. So I started doing some part-time jobs here and there, and I was able to save enough to fund my first year fees. Yeah, after that, when I went to my second year of college, so the bank allowed an education loan, and I took that just to save myself more money to pay the expense during the college time and do some other things. And yeah, after college, I have been able to pay the a considerable chunk of that loan back, and yeah, that is how it is.
So now talking about the current state. So where are you currently working right now?
Sure. So currently, I am working with uh, a product startup. It's a technology startup by the name Attentive. They have products for outdoor industry services in the United States, and I'm part of the growth team, and I'm responsible for one entire project that is their residential project, a residential part. We say that, and there my current role is entrepreneur in residence, which is supposed to be a role only MBA students get that. But yeah, I've been able
So
to
it's
get
a
that
non-tech
right after
job,
my
right?
time.
So it's like completely
It's a completely
non-tech job.
it's a completely non-tech role. Correct, correct.
Can you shed some light on your package?
Okay, so currently my package is 14.5 LPA, and after adding in incentives and all and other uh, variables, it goes above 50.
Yeah. So that's a huge package considering that you were just a fresher, like since you just passed
Yes.
out.
So yeah, I'll just put a highlight, put a light on it. So after passing my college, like after graduating from NSIT, I did a job at Planet Spark, that is an edtech. I was
Mhm.
part of their sales team, and I worked there for 9 months before joining this company 3 months back.
Okay, so this is your second job. That's
This is
nice.
my
So
second job.
talking about the public speaking skills, I know that you are part of a lot of societies such as Toastmasters. Can you please share some of the importance of public speaking, especially how it impacted your life?
Is very clear that whatever job you do, whatever you do in your personal life as well, wherever you go, and whatever like group of people you are a part of, if you have slight more confidence in you, then you can do a lot better than what you're doing currently. So a lot of people think that public speaking just going on stage and speaking about something on a topic, or just blabbing here and there things. But public speaking is not exactly just going on stage and speaking. It has a lot of other things which are just before public speaking, just after you learn public speaking. So specifically, the biggest thing that public speaking can give you is the confidence. Even if you don't know something, even if you don't have the time to learn something, but if you're confident that yeah, you can present yourself in front of people even without knowing something, in a way that yes, you don't know it, but still you're open to learn it, that can fetch you a lot more opportunities than a person who knows a lot of things and they have a lot of knowledge, but still they're not able to present themselves. In today's time, companies don't uh, seek for a person who knows everything, but they seek for a person who can represent their company.
Yeah, true.
So primary thing is confidence that you get. Second thing is the kind of people you get to meet. So if you're an introvert person, if you don't know how to speak,
Yeah.
then you will not be able to initiate the interaction between
Mhm.
anyone, like anyone you meet. But if you are a slight extrovert person and if you know how to start conversation, then
Mm.
I'm pretty sure wherever you go, you will always make new friends, you will always meet new people, and that will always lead to a lot more opportunities than what anybody can get without public speaking. So learning public speaking, doing public speaking is different, and what you get after learning or after doing public speaking is a lot more than that. So that is why everyone on this planet should learn public speaking at some part of their life. I'll say as soon as you can.
So can you please share some experience on how exactly does this help you to get where you are right now? Because especially being a low GPA kid, we generally assume that people will not get a good job in the market.
Sure, Rishabh. Yes, it is true that I was not the topper of my batch, obviously. Uh, Not even topper, but I was even below average level in my batch, if I'll be, bluntly honest. Yep. So I'll answer your question in two parts. First, about my journey, how I was able to handle it, and second part will be how a normal college student can handle it. So
Hmm.
talking about myself, so by the time I was finishing my first semester,
Mhm.
I just ended up with my first semester examination in the month of November. After that, I
Mhm.
started searching for some group where I can go and have some engagement. I can meet some good minded people, and where there's some transfer of knowledge and they're sharing
Mhm.
what they know, and there's a healthy discussion over multiple topics. So I was literally randomly googling about multiple groups on Meetup and on YouTube also. Yeah, so luckily I just landed upon a video which had world champion of public speaking.
Mhm.
So that time I got to know that there is a title world champion of public speaking, and I was not part of any public speaking activity. I was just fascinated with the idea of going on stage and speaking about. So while when I got to know about Toastmasters from those videos and from those searches, I just thought that Toastmasters cannot exist in India. But as soon as I went to their website and clicked on find a club, I was surprised to see there are a lot of clubs in Delhi. The next thing I did, I just booked my visit to two of their clubs, and both of them accepted. I went to both the clubs and joined both the clubs. I was so much uh, you know uh, amazed to see the idea of Toastmasters as a whole. So I joined Toastmasters right after my first semester. I'll say it was late for me. I should have joined it very early. And I used to visit the clubs every Thursday evening and every Friday evening.
Okay.
So that is how I managed along with my college time. And every Saturday, Sunday, in my late Toastmaster journey, I started visiting a lot of corporate offices. So
Okay.
if anyone knows this or not, but 80% of Fortune 500 companies have their Toastmasters club.
Okay.
when everybody was dreaming about going to company and meeting a person from a company, or meeting or just knowing the names of directors of their company.
Hmm.
In my second or third year, I was actually visiting those companies, those corporate offices in our Delhi NCR, I mean Gurgaon and Noida. I had photographs with a lot of senior level people in those corporates. If I name them, HCL, TCS, Adobe, Microsoft, then couple of core companies, Vedanta, Kane, and some technology company like Xperia. So these are companies which I can remember right now, but there are a lot more other companies, Logic, Global Logic, and many other in Britain Noida side as well. I was actually
Hmm.
literally visiting those companies and interacting with their employees. So there I got to know that if you have the right skill set and if you can represent yourself,
Hmm.
in front of people, if you can share your thoughts clearly, if you can communicate clearly, then you can fetch a lot more opportunities which a person who has all the knowledge, who has a very good GPA, would not be able to. So here comes my other point. The benefit of public speaking is networking. I actually built a very good network of people from the support of Toastmasters. So this is how I was able to manage, and I realized very early in my college time that yeah, I mean, if I have to pursue my career in the same subject, that is electronics, I should study it. But if I'm not going to pursue it, then it's okay. I should get just decent marks and focus on what is required or what I should follow after my college time. So it is about myself, how I manage, but how a person, how a normal college student can handle it. So first thing is priority. Prioritize what you want to do after college. If your subject, I mean, if your job, the kind of job that think should be, if that is something into core technology which might not require a lot of public speaking, that's okay. You don't need to be very aggressive about it. You can just join a club, and you don't need to be regular about it. By the time you will end up your college of 4 years or 3 years, you will end up learning it. But if your job, if the kind of role that you think in your mind would require some kind of presentation, some kind of interaction with clients, with stakeholders, internal, external, then you should aggressively consider learning public speaking as soon as start it as soon as in your college time. So now how to manage it? I mean, that is a second question. The first question should come whether you should go for it aggressively or just in light mode. Everybody should learn it. That's true. Yeah. Once you become aggressive, then I think there are next steps to how you can manage it. You can join a weekend club when you don't have the college, and I mean you get a break. So we have a lot of weekend activities as well. So it will be
So
easy to
one
manage
small
all.
question: what exactly has happened in these clubs?
Okay, sure. So Rishabh, I mean, especially about Toastmasters experience. So there are three sections in a Toastmaster meeting. The first one is prepared speeches. Okay, these speeches vary from 5 minutes to 7 minutes. That's the minimum and maximum time. You cannot go
Hmm.
beyond 7 minutes. You are disqualified. Okay. So you have to prepare for those speech beforehand, and what speech to give. You know, what are the objectives of the speech, what you should achieve from a speech. Everything is given in their specific modules. So it's a paid program. You pay fees for to join these groups, and then you get an online module. Right now you have all the specific projects, all the specific objectives of each speech. So while you are preparing for a speech, you try to meet few objectives attached with those speeches. And after finishing a number of given number of speeches, you also get certifications from Toastmaster International, headquartered in Colorado,
Okay.
United States. The second part of Toastmaster Club is a impromptu speech, which is extempo. We might have done extempo in our I mean some in some group activity, in some college
Hmm.
society activities. So extempo, I mean the topics you get right on the stage. You are called up on the stage. People volunteer to come for an impromptu topic, for a table topic, and then you get a topic and you have to speak for 2 minutes about the topic.
Hmm.
Okay. The last section, which is very important and which is there only in Toastmasters so far, is the evaluation section. So everybody who have come on stage gets their feedback about their speech in a very constructive format. For example, the approach that Toastmasters follow is CRC: comment, recommend, and comment. So first we talk about
Okay.
the good part that a person has done. Second part is recommend what the person could have improved. We don't use any bad terms. For example, this you did wrong. You should not have done that. We are very sympathetic and we are very positive about that. Yeah, you did this in that way, which could have been done in that the number two way, and this way we could have made your speech better. So the third part is very important. That's the only portion which helps you understand from a third person perspective what you currently are and what you need to improve. This is how, by just attending the meetings and preparing for speeches, you end up improving yourself. So the major difference that we can see in a college society and in a Toastmasters group is of the kind of people. So in terms of age, in terms of experience, and in terms of the background that they're coming from. So in college societies, the people that you meet are your own college fellows, okay, your own batchmates, or maybe your 1 year, 2 year juniors. Okay. But in Toastmasters, the kind of network that you get, I mean, you being a college student would be the youngest one there. Everybody, there is very senior. Average age is 25 to 30. Okay, we have people beyond 35, 40s as well, and they
Okay.
come up with a huge corporate experience. They come up with a huge life experience as well. And when you are receiving feedback from them, then you get to know the harsh reality of the world that you will enter after your college time. The major difference is the kind of people that you meet there and the kind of people that you meet here, and the background they're coming from. So this is the major difference.
So did this networking help you get any internships or placement? No.
Absolutely. So yeah, I mean, in my first, internship, I mean, first, internship that I did, the Amazon one, I'll say that was, partially supported by Toastmasters. I mean, there was a person
Okay.
who helped me, get that internship. I mean, the person was not from Amazon. He was just my, I mean, fellow, and eventually we, became very good friends. So he helped me, locate few companies and how to approach the interviews, and how to answer
Okay.
your questions in an interview, and how to approach HRs, and how to apply for, because I was just I mean, first year pass out person. So
Mm-hmm.
uh, how a person is supposed to know all these things. So somebody guided me. Yeah, if that person would not have been there because of Toastmasters, so I would not have got that. Yeah, when I started my startup by the name Cross Skills, so which ran for 1.5 years. So there I got a lot of help from Toastmasters in generating revenue, because yeah, I mean, those people helped me get new customers. When pandemic hit, we had to shut that down. Uh, During that time also, I got two more opportunities because of the network of Toastmasters. Because everybody comes from a very very good corporate background, and they know the industry, they know the truth out there. So yeah, it has helped a lot.
Yeah. What is the advice or tips you would like to give to the students of our college or any other college, being a tier 2, tier 3, or tier 1, especially the introverts? Because in today's generation, majority of us are introverts.
Yes, yes. Rishabh, that is a great point, I will say, because I was also that kind of a person before joining Toastmasters. So if I talk about my journey, in a small bit, so I never took the stage in my school time. Okay,
Hmm.
I had a very good friend. I was very interactive and very playful person, but I never been to stage in my school time. And when I
Hmm.
joined college, I also did not end up getting any stage time. I was passionate about the idea, but in college I didn't get that. So yeah, I was partially introvert, partially extrovert. That is what we can say right now. The good part about introvert is that they're a very thoughtful person. Okay,
Hmm.
they before speaking they think like 10 times whether they should speak this or not. They should utilize their this good power to express what is there in the mind, and which I'm sure will be very thoughtful. I'll give you one example. Let's say if an extrovert person is there, okay,
Hmm.
if you throw any question to them, they will quickly try to reply that you know uh, to that question, not just because they know something or they have to share something, but just for the sake of replying it. But at the same time, an introvert person, when they receive the question and they get the question, they think about it and they try to structure in their mind.
Hmm.
So introversion is actually good part, and introvert, people have become very good public speakers. So to quote one person, Mohammed Katani, you search about it. Even this person was not just an introvert, but he also used to stammer. You know, by doing a lot of public speeches, he was able to cure his stammer. Now coming to this part, what our introvert should do. I'll say when we go on stage, the one thing
Hmm.
that hit our mind, which makes us afraid of public speaking, is what to share, what I'm going to, speak
Hmm.
about, and what the content will look like. Okay, so there are two, inputs I want to give here. First thing is read a lot of stories, stories of different people, stories of different things, uh, stories of different discoveries. Okay, stories that has an impact. Okay, if you read about it, you will always have an example, okay, to share. Okay, uh, it can be any case stories as well, which has a moral at the end of the story. So read
Mhm.
few stories, read books, so that you have something to share. Okay, not just for the sake of saying it, but something thoughtful. So read,
Mhm.
read a lot, read books, read stories. Okay, so that you will be slightly prepared for it. Now the second part will be, you don't need to start right in front of a lot of people, but you start sharing those stories with your family members, with your friends, with your younger or elder brother or sister. Try to familiarize yourself with the idea of sharing,
Mhm.
interacting. Because see, the only difference between a person who is interacting with five people outside the stage and on the stage is the difference of interaction. The way you interact with five people is different the way you interact with 500 people. Okay, so just familiarize yourself with the idea of interaction, okay, by just sharing small stories. Okay, this will be the stepping stone, the start of how you can enter public speaking. Once you are familiar with sharing a small story with your one brother, or two friends or three friends, then you try to scale it up. Okay, you try to scale it up to 10 people, 10, 20, 30, and then it goes on. So
Mhm.
in the back of your mind, you'll not it will be seamless for you. Yes, it will take time, nothing happens overnight, but yeah, this step will help you. Now, this if you're an introvert person, then you can be a very good storyteller. Okay,
Mhm.
and in interviews, what a person, what an HR person needs is not just rectified answers, but something to back it. And storytelling is always work. Even if I'm sharing a lot of examples with you. I mean,
Mhm.
I'm no, any person can come here and they can talk about public speaking, but how is it
Mhm.
impacted my life? I mean, these are the
Mhm.
stories that matter. Stories create impact, right? So an introvert person can get impact. I mean, if you're introvert, then yeah, feel proud about yourself that yeah, you are at the right place. You just need to start it, step by step. Okay, one step at a time, and I'm sure you will do wonders. Because just because I did, I was not a topper, I was not a talented person. I'm not extraordinary, but if I can do it, I mean, anybody can do it. Yes.
One last thing, talking about the wonders. Can you elaborate on your negotiation story? How you negotiated a package from 11 to 15 lakh?
Okay. I mean, yeah. Cool. So if you, since I've already mentioned, so yeah, I mean, it is true. I got a package of 11. I mean, 10 was fixed and 1 lakh was variable. Yep. So that was 11. How I negotiated it? Okay. So you know what? When I got this offer, from my could be new company or would be new company,
Mhm.
I resigned from my previous company.
Mhm.
So because of I had some good public speaking experience and I was doing very good in their sales department. So I was one of their top performers. I even hit their Diwali bonanza target. Only 8 people out of 800 people were able to do so. You can say I was one of the top 1% of their organization. So because of my sales talent, or because of my speaking and representing power, you can say, they wanted me to stay there, and they asked me, what are your reasons to leave this organization? And there were a couple of points. I mean, first was the culture of the company, which I didn't support. It was very hectic. They used to ask me to work for like 24 hours, 7 days a week, and I needed my own time to learn something, upskill myself. So that was first
Mhm.
point. Second point was, since I started sales, one reason is that I wanted to try my luck in sales, because
Mhm.
at any point of time, if I go to a higher level position, if I start my own business or startup, I need to have those skills. So I thought that why not to experiment it in the starting of the career, rather than take having your better career on stake later.
Mhm.
So I did that in my early career itself. So because of my sales skills, everybody wanted me to stay, but I had made up my mind that it's been 9 months now. I don't want to continue in sales because I had learned a lot, whatever I needed for me. I mean, it might be not sufficient for others, but for me it was sufficient. So yeah,
Mhm.
they were ready to now offer me a good role, and because of my good skills that they saw, they were
Mhm.
ready to offer me a hike. Okay, what the other company was already offering me, they
Yeah.
were ready to offer a hike on it. And I went to the new company and I told them that yeah, I mean, this is the scenario. They are offering me this new role. So I was not showing them that yeah, I am in demand or so, but I just asked them very humbly that I mean, yeah. So I'll tell them I was telling them honestly that yeah, I want to exit from sales and do some other type of role there.
Mhm.
And we can talk about the money part later. But yeah, I want to switch my role from sales. I want to do something else now. Then they
Mhm.
asked me what else you can do. Then I told them that yeah, in my college time I had done a lot of case studies and I had run my own startup. So I have a good strategy experience. I can work in the growth. I can work in brainstorming how the company will move forward, and I can support any non-tech department that they can give me, and the company was ready to give me that. So coming to the point, how I did it is different, and how a person can do it, how it should be. So I'll answer that. So
Mhm.
first, you should realize what is your spike, what is your USP. For me, it was sales. I was a very
Mhm.
good salesperson. What is your spike? For me, it was sales. For you, it can be coding. For me, it
Mhm.
was sales. For you, it can be research, right? uh, for you it can be any work that would require a hard work, smart work, or any kind of more brainstorming, or more kind of physical work, or mental work. But
Mhm.
you know, identify your USP, okay, and play around it and show to the other company that yeah, you have this thing as well in your hand, along with some other certain skill set. So the only thing that will help you here is not your marks in your college that will fetch you good money. It's only your skill set right now, and primarily your spike. You should always have one single skill that you are perfect at. It For me it was sales. For you it could be again technical or other things. So identify your spike and negotiate on it, and show them that yeah, you are the person in demand without telling that you are the person in demand in some other way. So it's an art. It's not a template that I'm telling you right now that you try this and this will work out. This might work out, this might not work out, but yeah, you will get a direction. Identify spike in yourself. What is that you are perfect at? What is it that you are a go-to person for your managers, for your colleagues? Let's say you can be good in Excel. So whenever there is some Excel work in your team, I mean everybody should know, okay, yeah, Risha will be able to do it, right? So you can master Excel in that way. So identify your spike and be the go-to person for that particular thing. And if you are doing that, then you can show that, you can present that, put that on the table to the other company, and they will value you.
True. So I mean that's the end for today's discussion. Thanks so much for your time.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Rishabh. Thank you for inviting. It was a very fruitful discussion as well. I've seen your previous sessions, and I hope the work that you are doing and the kind of impact that you are trying to make, you also achieve that. I like that, and that's why I'm here. Thank you so much again.
Thanks, Anirudh.